Okay, now.
I'm the top dog in the league, homie.
Yeah.
Let's speak on it. This stretch for anybody to reach on me.
Don't reach.
Just breathe on it. Don't tell them. They gotta know it's me
They know
on it.
it.
Won't kick it on me and go for three
They
on
know
you.
it.
You couldn't guard me with the cleanest armor.
know.
I got it covered.
Yeah.
These corners.
Yeah.
I'm the top dog.
Back like I never left. Do a quick mock draft here for you. I'm gonna try to put out a 7-rounder before the draft. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. First overall pick, you already know where we're going. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson. Best prospect, and really don't even have to go in and dive deep into that one. Pick number 2, I'm gonna shake things up here. This mock draft will have trades, just a heads up. But I'm trying not to go conventional like all the other mock drafts. And I just don't think Zach Wilson will be the guy for New York. I think Justin Fields has shown throughout the draft process with everyone kind of bashing him or kind of extra dissecting him. In my opinion, he's still the second best quarterback. And in 2 matchups against Trevor Lawrence, he split, but he outplayed Trevor Lawrence. So for the New York Jets, we're going to go quarterback Justin Fields, Ohio State. Which now this is going to shake things up because now you have the talented Zach Wilson who's mobile, who can move around, who the 49ers thought would be gone by the second pick. Do they take him? Do they stick with Mac Jones like what's being reported? Do they even go Trey Lance? Trey Lance is a pretty big guy. He'll need some time to develop. As will I honestly believe Zach Wilson will as well. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to give the San Francisco 49ers, we're going to go Trey Lance. They'll ride out with Jimmy G for another year. They said they don't plan on trading him this year. Go ahead and groom Trey Lance behind him. Now we got the Atlanta Falcons on the clock. Could go Kyle Pitts. Could go Zach Wilson. Could go Mac Jones if you want a quarterback of the future. What I honestly think is going to happen, I think that the Falcons they're either going to go Kyle Pitts here or they're going to trade out. So I'm going to have them take Kyle Pitts. Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, and just a heads up, I'm using the Pro Football Network mock draft simulator. You can do all rounds free, including trades. You don't have to pay for anything. It's more my speed. Cincinnati Bengals, I think they're going to go Jamar Chase, hook him back up with Joe Burrow. Now here we are with the Miami Dolphins. Will they trade back? I don't believe that was their intentions when they moved up to 6. However, like I said, you have Zach Wilson still on the board. Mac Jones is still on the board, and you have a couple quarterback needy teams. I'm going to have the Denver Broncos jump up and trade. They'll give up their first and second this year and give up their second next year. And they're going to jump up and they're going to go Zach Wilson. The Detroit Lions. I honestly think the Detroit Lions are going to trade back. They've already discussed it. They've already talked about it. Go ahead and continue to try to build this thing out. They have a bunch of draft picks next year as well. So they're just going to keep going with it. I can see the Los Angeles Chargers trading up to get Penei Sewell. They could possibly do the same exact trade. They have 2 third-round picks this year. And don't mind me with the actual trade compensation. I'm just trading what they're allowing me to trade. And they're going to go Penei Sewell. Carolina Panthers, I think, for the most part, will want to protect Sam Darnold. However, Patrick Surtain right there, you do need a corner. You got A.J. Bouye, brought in Rashawn Melvin. Dante Jackson's a free agent after the season, I believe. I just think Patrick Surtain fits him. You're going up against bigger wide receivers and Mike Evans, Julio Jones, and Mike Thomas. You're going to need you a lockdown corner with this type of size and pedigree. Miami Dolphins back on the clock after their trade down. No, I think they're going to go. We can give them Devontae Smith, pair him back up with Tua. Shouldn't be a problem. Here where things could get interesting, right here with the Dallas Cowboys. They've spoken about trading back. Are they actually going to trade back? No one knows, but with Patrick Surtain off the board, and I kind of think it's Surtain or bust here with the Cowboys. We're going to go Rashawn Slater. He can play anywhere on your offensive line. Tyron Smith's been hurt. La'el Collins been hurt. Travis Frederick retired. Zach Martin was hurt last year. Connor Williams isn't the best guard. So he could start off at left guard, go back to solidifying that offensive line. And if injuries seem to happen like they've done the last few years with the Cowboys, you can mix and match there. All right, and the New York Giants, who we going to go with the New York Giants? Oh, another cool thing I like about this website, if you want to look, you can go Team Needs and it'll show you literally everything. Not only that, they do a really good job on this website. They even have scouting reports. So like, as you can see, and it's all right here on one website. And you can play around with it, do as many mock drafts as you want. Like I said, I plan on doing more before draft day. The New York Giants, I think they are going to attempt to trade back. Gettleman's consistently talked about trading back. However, who do you trade back with? Who's willing to come up? Do teams really look at Mac Jones that well? I'm not sure. However, two of the quarterback needy teams, one of them being the Washington football team, they're in your division. I highly doubt that trade is going to take place. But a team that I could see getting aggressive due to their defense, due to their rushing attack, due to it also being a need and potentially being in the number one spot in their division, going to be the Tennessee Titans. And they're going to come up. They're going to try to trade up with the New York Giants. They're going to go from 22 to 11. Very possible they're going to have to give up probably their first round pick next year. But we'll see if they give up the second. They accepted it. So they're going to come up. They're going to go Jalen Waddle. Jump in front of Philly, who could possibly take him. And now you got a speed guy. You got A.J. Brown, who is a running back playing wide receiver. He catches the ball and just gets physical. Not to mention Derrick Henry. And now you just over the top with Jalen Waddle. Philadelphia Eagles, we're going to go J.C. Horn. They're in need of a corner. They were in on Adoree Jackson. J.C. Horn has pedigree from his father who played in the NFL. He was a wide receiver, so I'm pretty sure his dad has taught him what to look for in the NFL, obviously. And J.C. Horn is very athletic, very good, sticky man guy. Be a great compliment opposite Darius Slay. The Detroit Lions, you know what? They're going to trade back again. Washington football team, they're going to come up. And you got to think they're only coming up for a quarterback, right? Washington's going to move from 19 to 13. And they're going to should only have to give up their second round pick this year as well. And they're going to go on, and you feel bad for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Last year he had to tutor Tua, former Alabama quarterback. This year he'll be doing the same thing with Mac Jones. The Minnesota Vikings, I could honestly see Minnesota going edge here. I could see them possibly attempting to trade out as well. But let's see. I think they're going to go edge here. There's talks about Danielle Hunter possibly wanting out. So, I mean, if you're going to get rid of him, you got to replace him. And even if you don't replace him, if you're able to mend whatever issues he has, you're going to want someone opposite. Someone who can play opposite of him. I think Kwity Paye would be that guy. The The New England Patriots. A lot of teams see that they could trade out. I could also see them trading out. But when you got Michael Parsons here on the board, it just makes too much sense to me. He seems like a New England style linebacker who they can just utilize his speed, utilize his pass rush. He can play inside. They're going to move him all over the board. Arizona Cardinals. There's a couple things that I think Arizona needs. They've been talking about wide receiver. They could definitely use a running back. They could definitely beef up the offensive line. They took care of the defensive line, but in that backfield, they lost some players. Patrick Peterson, most notably. They're going to go Caleb Farley, cornerback out of Virginia Tech. He's got some injury issues, but a lot of people view him as the number one corner in the draft. Las Vegas Raiders. Let's look at their needs. They destroyed their offensive line. They brought in Carl Joseph, he's basically the same type of player as Jonathan Abram. I could see them going on safety like Trayvon Moehrig. But they need linebackers, and you're going to need guys that can cover ground, guys that can cover with these weapons out west. Denver has a solid receiving core and tight end group. Kansas City, we know what they have. Las Vegas actually has some pretty good weapons as well. And the Los Angeles Chargers are also beefed up in their weaponry. So we're going to go Elijah. No, we're not going to go Elijah Vera-Tucker. We're going to go Jamin Davis, linebacker from Kentucky. He's a speed guy all over the field. And he's one guy I don't think they would have an issue with him covering some of these tight ends out in their division. The Miami Dolphins back on the clock. They could definitely use a running back. I don't think they're going to go offensive line in the first round. They picked up DJ Fluker, who can play right guard, which would leave your offense with Lark Jackson, Eric Flowers. I think they had picked up Skura, the center. DJ Fluker would be your right guard. Then you would have Robert Hunt, who can play right tackle. I honestly, like most people, think he would be better at right guard. But him and DJ Fluker can actually play both positions. Fluker's kicked out to tackle once Ronnie Stanley got hurt in Baltimore, and they moved Orlando Brown Jr. over to the left side. But when you think about Tua and this team, you want to get him around as many weapons as possible. And not to mention, you're getting him around guys he has chemistry with. Najee Harris falls in your lap, in my opinion, the best back in the draft. He's got power, he's got speed, he has agility. He can get low, he can make you miss, he can go through you. A lot of people like Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne didn't have, in my opinion, the best season last year like he's had the previous three, but he's still extremely talented back. The Detroit Lions, they've made a few trade backs. They need linebacker help. They need secondary help. They need corners. They need wide receivers. They need a quarterback, even though they just traded for Jared Goff. So I think we're going to go Rashad Bateman, wide receiver out of Minnesota. You got Tyrell Williams there on a one-year deal. Brashad Perriman's there on a one-year deal. You're going to need it. You're going to need some wide receivers that are on the squad past this season. The Chicago Bears, I know a lot of people view them as possibly going offensive line here, but I honestly think Christian Barmore would be a perfect fit for the Chicago Bears. I honestly feel like he would be a fantastic fit with Akeem Hicks last season when he got hurt. That defense wasn't the same, but you get somebody who can play next to Hicks or slide in and take over for Hicks if Hicks does get injured. There were talks of even trading Akeem Hicks early on. This could actually give you an option to do so. So we're going to go Christian Barmore, D-tackle out of Alabama. The Indianapolis Colts need offensive tackle. Christian Darrisaw slid to him here. That's an easy pick. solidify that offensive line. You got a nice left tackle sliding in right next to Big Q, and we're going to protect Carson Wentz. The New York Giants finally back on the clock. Did a lot of wheeling and dealing, some trades. They're going to go edge Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia. The New York Jets, you want to protect your investment of Justin Fields. They're going to run similar offensive scheme to San Francisco. A back that would fit them perfectly. Them and San Francisco would be Travis Etienne. I could see them going Travis Etienne. However, they do and will need linebacker help. There's talks of trading C.J. Mosley, who could recoup some draft capital for them. Elijah Vera Tucker can play guard. You want to protect Justin Fields after you just drafted him. This is a very deep offensive line class. There's still some solid offensive line vets on the free agent market as well. I honestly think that Richard Sherman is going to end up here with the Jets. And they have a corner, Bryce Hall, last year from Virginia that I think could learn and flourish in this defensive scheme. So we're going to go and protect Justin Fields. We're going to go Elijah Vera Tucker sliding right in at left guard, solidify that left side of that offensive line. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they need offensive line help. They lost Bud Dupree. They'll need a quarterback. They're going to need a lot. They'll need a running back. But you haven't done anything in free agency. One, because you haven't had the cap space to do so. Your center retired. Your starting left tackle is possibly going to sign with Baltimore. So let's go ahead. Let's fix this offensive line. We're going to go Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle, Oklahoma State. This seems like a Pittsburgh guy to me. Now we have the Jacksonville Jaguars back on the clock. Jacksonville needs a tight end. Jacksonville likes their running stable. Would it be too tempting to take Travis Etienne here? Pair him back up with this college quarterback, somebody who understands his college quarterback. There was a little commitment talk, if you will, that went on with Trevor Lawrence and some of the comments he made about winning a Super Bowl and football not being the most important thing to him. So you're going to need someone who understands that guy, understands who he is, and kind of articulate that to the rest of the team. And I just think, honestly, man, I think Travis Etienne would be good for the Jacksonville Jaguars. However, they need safety help. You have Trayvon Moehrig on the board. He's the best safety in the class. And I think that's where they're going to go. Now you got the Cleveland Browns. Again, like I said, I love this app or this website. You can literally go and see what they need. The Cleveland Browns, they did pick up Jadeveon Clowney, but it's only on a one-year deal. Clowney hasn't done anything the last 3 seasons. Actually, his entire career. I mean, he's a good impact player against the run. He's not going to give you double-digit sacks. He's yet to do so. They did pick up Anthony Walker from the Colts. Linebacker was one of their weak issues. But man, Zaven Collins could be great for them. Zaven Collins could be a force for the Cleveland Browns. He's athletic. He's huge. He can play in the middle. He can play outside. He can rush. And now you're going up against a solid division with quarterbacks with Lamar Jackson, who can move around, as well as Joe Burrow. Big Ben, he'll be on the outs soon enough. I'm pretty sure he's going to be done after this season. But Zaven Collins would be a fantastic pick for the Cleveland Browns. The Baltimore Ravens, with their first pick, are on the clock. I've already spoken about them possibly signing Alejandro Villanueva from the Steelers and putting him at right tackle. So right here, you can honestly pick your poison, if you will. And they need a wide receiver. I need a number 1 wide receiver. They also could use offensive line help. They could use a center. They definitely need edge help. They could use safety help. But I honestly think, where's my man at? They're going to go Jalen Phillips, edge from Miami. He's had some concussion issues. He's had some injury issues. Supposedly retired, had a medical retirement from UCLA. But this kid's probably the best edge defender in the draft. Right here, you have the New Orleans Saints. Could definitely use a ton. They're going to be retooling this team, but none more than the secondary. Greg Newsome, opposite Marshawn Lattimore. They're going to keep this secondary intact. The Green Bay Packers, I could definitely see trading up to get a weapon. Also, maybe trading back here with what they need defensively, what they could take defensively. But I'm going to go out of the box here. I'm going to go Jabril Cox, linebacker LSU. This guy's a phenomenal player. He is a baller at linebacker. He'll fit perfectly in the scheme. They have not been able to stop the run very well the last couple of years. They could bring back Snack Harrison to play next to Kenny Clark. But you need you a linebacker that can get through those holes, get some tackles for losses, and just be a disruptor. And I think that's what Jabril Cox honestly is. The Buffalo Bills, it's tough for you to go back-to-back running backs. Not back-to-back, but two backs in the first round. But not when they're this special. This team, they have a few backs, Singletary and Zach Moss, but they're very similar in who they are and what they can do. Travis Etienne can almost do it all, man. He can do it all. They're going to go Travis Etienne, get him up there in that Buffalo snow, December and January, see if they can make a run for a championship. All right, the Baltimore Ravens are back on the clock. Their second pick, this pick coming from the Kansas City Chiefs and the Orlando Brown trade. And we're going to go Terrace Marshall Jr., wide receiver out of LSU. This guy is sneaking up draft boards. He's a very fantastic player. He's a big guy. It's what they need. And hopefully this can help develop Lamar Jackson. Not only Lamar Jackson, but as well as Greg Roman's passing attack. And here we have the Super Bowl champions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who honestly don't need anything because they brought back their entire team. However, JPP is a little older. I believe he's on last year of his deal. Ndamukong Suh as well. You could definitely use some more secondary help. A better, strong safety opposite of Antoine Winfield Jr. But we're going to go edge. We're going to go Gregory Rousseau. Edge out of Miami. I just think that'll be the rich kind of getting richer. Gregory Rousseau could definitely develop. He was a fantastic player 2 seasons ago. He opted out in 2020. When you get this guy and get him in there behind Shaq Barrett and get him in there behind JPP on this defense, I think that'll be a fantastic pick at the 32nd overall pick. So, hey, man, that's it. That's the end of the video. Again, like I said, be on the lookout. I'm going to try to shoot out at least one 7-round mock. I'm probably going to do a 2 or 3, maybe 4-round mock today as well. So, again, be on the lookout, man. I appreciate it. Sorry for being gone so long. I'm still working on getting my my camera and everything situated. But, hey, life happens. So, appreciate you watching, man. Again, y'all hold it down. These
Okay, now. I'm the top dog in the league, homie. Yeah. Let's speak on it. It's a stretch for anybody to reach on me. Just breathe on it, don't tell them. They gotta know it's me on it. Won't kick it on me and go for 3 on you. You couldn't guard me with the cleanest armor. I got it covered. These corners. I'm the top dog in the league, homie. Let's speak on it. This is a stretch for anybody to reach on me. Just breathe on it, don't tell them. They gotta know it's me on it. We don't kick it, I don't even go for 3 on you. You couldn't guard me with the cleanest armor. I got it covered. These corner like, yeah.